Seattle just won the Super Bowl, and now they've been told they have zero chance to repeat. Sam Darnold has more weapons, more continuity, and a stronger core. Yet one brutal warning could expose the champion's biggest weakness.
With two people who have very close ties to some of the best teams in this division. And I would like to ask you, Imrob, who's your favorite in the NFC?
That's Seattle.
Yeah, they won.
Seattle. You know we won it. We ain't been beat yet. And I say we because I got a Super Bowl too. I got the first one. You know what I'm saying? We ain't been beat yet. And yeah, I know we did let Kenneth Walker go. I'm with that.
We let Tariq Woolen go too.
He led the NFL in playoff rushing. We did let Kenneth Walker go. But we drafted Jadavian Price, first round pick.
Good pick.
You know what I'm saying? Out of the first rounder out of Notre Dame. We did let Tariq Woolen go. Yeah. That's gonna be a big loss. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But we about to pay another corner, Devin Witherspoon. That boy about to make a whole lot of money. All I'm saying is I know the Seahawks didn't do a lot this offseason. They didn't have to.
Right. Because they won.
We won. Come on, dog.
Yeah, come on, man. Let's be honest. Let's tell the people, where's my single? Where's
what?
Oh, there you are. Hey, listen. Let's not play games with people around here, okay?
But just when it seemed Seattle had the perfect formula, the league fired back with a brutal warning. The defending champions may be hiding the biggest weakness.
He's Sean McVay defensive side. But I was sitting there watching this episode of it, and maybe it's the geography that the Seahawks are buried up in the corner of the Pacific Northwest. Maybe it's the fact that they don't have a lot of veteran star players. They're a very young team. But I honestly believe even Vegas has the Baltimore Ravens, an 8-9 team last year, with better Super Bowl odds than the Seahawks. Nobody thinks they can repeat. It was a one-off. No way Darnold will play mistake-free playoff football again. Things went in their favor. No, actually, they did not go in their favor at all. The opposite is true. Sam Darnold goes to arguably the best division in football, has a new coach, a new coordinator, a new O-line, a bad O-line, and a new receiving corps. JSN, well, we didn't know if he was a number one. And again, the offensive line was, I think they were ranked like 30th. They were a bad offensive line. They needed a rookie, Gray Zabel, to shore up their offensive line. The three best records in the NFC ended up last year all being in the NFC West, and they had to play the Rams, Stafford and McVay 3 times, and Kyle Shanahan and the physical Niners 3 times. So Darnold, 4 teams, 4 years, for the first time in years. Same head coach, same locker room, same culture, same city, same house. Now he's married, same number one receiver, same offensive line. I don't know. That kind of continuity to me seems like a huge benefit. But literally the 8-9 Ravens last year with a rookie head coach having lost their best offensive lineman, and Lamar Jackson did not look like Lamar Jackson last year. He's a slower version for a guy who's dependent on his legs. Have better Super Bowl odds. The other thing about Seattle, they're not aging out of this. Their older players don't get hurt much. Leonard Williams, DeMarcus Lawrence, Charles Cross. And their best players are all young and getting better. Devin Witherspoon, JSN. Start looking at their young players. Brian Murphy, Nicky Minwari, Gray Zabel. So their young players are all just going into their prime and their Pro Bowl level. Excellent. Their old guys are healthy. Darnold's a young 29, never had a lot of injuries. They have the best GM, arguably, the best defensive coach, arguably, the best receiver, arguably. And over the last 2 years, they've been 15-2 on the road. They're the best home team without an argument. And yet they're kind of considered, and they're not really mentioned. People are like, oh, Rams, in their own division. So let me use Sam Darnold. You know I love Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold last year was a $13 million cap hit. Seahawks won a Super Bowl. This year, Sam's a $38 million cap hit. They're not going to win a Super Bowl. They had to get rid of a 6'4" corner. Not a lot of those in pro football. Tariq Woolen had to get rid of him. Now he's Eagles. And they had to get rid of the Super Bowl MVP, Kenneth Walker. Now, they drafted late first round running back out of Notre Dame. Is pretty good, but may not be Kenneth Walker. Seattle will not win the Super Bowl. They'll be good. They're not going to win a Super Bowl with a great coach, with Sam Darnold, with a great roster. So 7 of the 8 highest quarterback cap hits last year missed the playoffs. Stafford's the only one that made it, and that's because the Rams have been on about a 4-year stretch where they never miss on draft picks.
Seattle just won the Super Bowl. And somehow, the defending champions are already being told they have zero chance to repeat. Critics say last season was a one-off. They say Sam Darnold won't reproduce his playoff run. They point to Kenneth Walker and Tariq Woolen leaving. But Seattle's answer is simple. We won it. We ain't been beat yet. And maybe that's exactly why this debate is getting so heated. Because when you look beneath the surface, Seattle may have lost pieces, but they haven't lost the foundation. Let's not pretend the offseason was perfect. Kenneth Walker is gone after leading Seattle's championship attack and earning Super Bowl MVP honors. Tariq Woolen is gone too, creating another hole in the secondary. Those are serious losses. But Seattle responded by drafting Notre Dame running back Jadarian Price at number 32, betting that his explosiveness can eventually soften Walker's departure. And defensively, the Seahawks still have Devin Witherspoon, a young star heading toward a massive payday. So yes, Seattle changed. But changing isn't the same thing as collapsing. And the biggest reason Seattle may survive those changes is sitting behind center. The biggest criticism is that Sam Darnold can't repeat. But here's the problem with that argument. Darnold isn't starting over. He returns to the same organization, the same head coach, the same locker room, and the same offensive system. Last season, Darnold threw for 4,048 yards and 25 touchdowns, helping Seattle reach the top of the NFC. Now he gets another year with Jaxon Smith-Njigba, who proved he can be a true #1 receiver. Add Cooper Kupp and Rashid Shaheed, and suddenly the argument that Darnold has fewer weapons becomes difficult to defend. He's also only 29 years old. Maybe the question isn't whether Darnold can repeat last season. Maybe it's whether he can become even better. But there is one weakness that could destroy all of that optimism. The Seahawks can have Darnold. They can have JSN. They can have Kupp. But if the offensive line falls apart, none of it matters. Seattle's protection was heavily criticized last season, and rookie Gray Zabel was asked to help stabilize the unit. That's a massive storyline heading into 2026. Because the NFC West is brutal. The Rams have Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay. The 49ers have Kyle Shanahan. And Seattle already had to survive repeated battles against both teams last season. This isn't a division where you can hide a weakness. If the line breaks down, Darnold gets pressured. If Darnold gets pressured, the entire championship formula gets tested. That is the real danger. But there's another reason the Seahawks may be more dangerous than the doubters realize. Seattle isn't an aging roster desperately chasing one final championship. Their best pieces are entering their prime. Devin Witherspoon, Jaxon Smith-Njigba, Nick Emenwari, Gray Zabel, and behind them is Mike McDonald, one of the league's most respected defensive minds. That's important because Seattle doesn't need to recreate last year's team exactly. They need their young players to improve. And if they do, the defending champions could actually be stronger in areas where they were vulnerable last year. Which brings us to the argument that may be driving the skepticism more than anything else: money. Last year, Sam Darnold carried roughly a $13 million cap hit. This year, that number jumps to around $38 million. That's the brutal reality of winning in the modern NFL. Once the quarterback gets paid, the roster becomes harder to maintain. And critics believe Seattle's championship window was created partly by having Darnold on a relatively cheap contract. Now the price has gone up. But here's the question. Did Seattle pay Darnold because they got lucky? Or did they pay him because they believe what happened last season was only the beginning? That answer could define the entire 2026 season, and that's why the zero chance prediction may be far more dangerous than it sounds. Seattle lost Kenneth Walker. They lost Tariq Woolen. They changed pieces of the offense. Their offensive line still has questions. And the NFC West remains absolutely unforgiving. So no, repeating will not be easy. But zero chance? That's a different argument. This is still the team that went 14-3. The team that already conquered the NFC. The team with a 29-year-old quarterback returning to a system he knows. A young number one receiver. An aggressive
Yo, mic check 1 to 2, -1, -2. Game over for this video, folks. Smash that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to stay in the huddle for more. This is NFL Madness, bringing the heat and signing out.